Hi, my name is Lily Simon. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Montville, Connecticut, and I'm here with my mother to talk about her perspective and how her story changed her own life.
Hi, my name is Patricia Simon. I'm Lily's mom. I'm 39 and I was raised in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So Mom, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how living in Las Vegas changed and sculpted your life?
So, I wouldn't really say it was living in Las Vegas that changed my life or, made me who I am. I think it was more of the circumstances in which I was raised. I was raised in North Las Vegas, very poor part of Las Vegas, in a trailer park with a bunch of other family members who lived in trailers in the trailer park by a single mom, which was really tough because my mom always worked like 3 jobs. And so it was tough being raised that way. It was tough being brought up poor. My mom, when she did decide to get married somebody who was in prison, which was really not great for me socially. And she would make us go to prison every weekend to see our stepdad, which, was really weird and not okay at all. And because of that, I didn't have any friends because everybody thought we were so weird. And so that was really tough. That was tough as a kid to deal with, and it was tough to kind of, get around those circumstances. When we did finally move out of the trailer that we lived in, we moved to another part of Las Vegas, which was really, really poor and where all the projects were. And that was during the time I was in middle school, and that really sucked because it was really scary, and I would hear ambulances every night, and I'd hear gunshots every night, and I literally lived like a block away from where the Donna Street Crips were, and behind our house was where Sanchucos lived, and it was scary to walk to school every day because you didn't know if you were going to get beat up or not, living in an area that was really gang ridden, and it was kind of terrifying. And because my mom worked so many jobs, she wasn't really ever home. So I was the one who was home at night taking care of my brothers, trying to just survive in those circumstances. We didn't actually move away from the projects until I was 14, and that was because I got shot. I was roller skating down the street and a kid shot me, and thank goodness my friend who I was with pushed me because she saw the kid aim the gun, and so the bullet went into my calf, and I was okay. I didn't die, obviously. I did have to go to the hospital and have surgery, and the kid did end up going to jail. He was put into a kid version of prison until he was old enough to get transferred to a prison. It was pretty awful. I guess that was the turning point where my mom decided, hey, let's leave the ghetto. But for me, it was just awful. It was very traumatic. It was scary, and we left that area and we moved into like a nice area of town, what I thought was a nice area of town, but that didn't last very long either because my mom, she was a single mom. She was poor, and at that time my stepdad did get out of prison, and she kind of had this fantasy that everything was going to be great, and obviously it doesn't work out that way. It's not great. And so it didn't last very long before she was trying to move back to the cheaper area of town because they just couldn't afford to live in the good area. And at that time I was 16, and I decided I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm just going to leave. And so I got a job, I got a car, I left, got my own apartment, and just decided I was never going to go back to living like that. I didn't want to be poor anymore. I didn't want to feel like white trash. I didn't want to be scared every night going to sleep. I didn't want that for myself. So I left, and I never looked back.
So Mom, how do you think this changed how you are today and how it sculpted you into the person you are?
I think that growing up in so much adversity and growing up, really poor, really makes you want to work to be, out of that situation. So you just work harder. And I think you really have to be resilient. And I think you have to have a lot of grit. You have to want to get out of that situation. situation. And so it's good because, that's what I did. I got out of it. I moved to Connecticut. I had my beautiful children and decided, I don't want to be an at-home mom anymore. I want more for myself. I put myself through nursing school at like the age of 35, which is crazy with 5 kids. And, now I'm a registered nurse and I love it. It's tough because my family didn't understand me moving. They didn't understand me leaving and moving all the way across the country. I think they still kind of feel like I think I'm better than them, which is sad because it's not about that. I think it's more of just not wanting to live in, those circumstances. I still have family members who live in, trailers, and they're comfortable with that. They're happy with that. Some of them are hoarders, and that's how they feel they want to live their life. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to live that way. I don't want to feel, I don't want to feel how that feels. So I work really hard to make sure that I have a good home and I have a good life for my kids. I worked really hard to put myself through school and to get really good grades, and I value that. As a kid, I didn't value going to school because nobody read books with me. Nobody put an emphasis on, and education is important. Nobody made me go to school. I went to school because I wanted to go to school, and also because I wanted to eat. If you went to school, you got to eat, which is sad. Talking about that as an adult is sad, but that's what it was about. And so as an adult, I think, I took a different role with it. I went to school and I wanted to be in school. I was paying to be in school, so I was going to get the most out of it. And I made sure that I graduated with my 4.0, and I made sure, that as a nurse that I take my job seriously. And I think it helped me because even though, I had to overcome a lot of things, I think it made me a better person and made me a better nurse because I'm able to really identify with my patients better. I work in home care, and so I go to patients' houses and I do their wound care and I do their visits and I take their vitals. And a lot of nurses aren't comfortable going to people's houses because a lot of our patients come from low-income families. They live poor. They have houses that are disgusting. It's sad, and but I think it made me a better person because I'm able to identify with those people. I don't judge them. I'm able to get past that and to just help them the best way I can. And I think it helped me as a mother because it helped me to understand what was important in my life and helped me to want to focus more on my children and making sure that I thought they had everything they needed, making sure that I thought that they valued education and just things like that. I think it hurts you also because you never quite feel good enough. Things can be taken away, and everybody laughs at me and they call me cheap because I still cut coupons and I always buy clothes on clearance even if I have the money to pay full price. And I think that's more of just, I think the the frugalness and the thriftiness just comes from a place of I know what it likes to not have anything, and I know money has value and I'm not going to spend my money frivolously. Whereas it affected my brother in a completely different way. My brother wants to always have the best. He never feels like his life is good enough, so he always has to have the newest car. He always has to have the newest phone. He always has to have the newest woman. He's been married 3 times and has 5 kids by 3 different people. Nothing's good enough for him, which is really sad to me, but I know why he feels that way. I think for me, it was just, it affected me differently. It affected me, to just make me want to be a better person, to not ever live like that. And, and to know that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. It can all be taken away. So you value the life that you have and you appreciate what you have. And, you have to just be happy with that. You have to be happy with the person you are and happy with what you have. And if you're not happy, then what's it for, really?
Thank you, Mom, for sharing about how your life was different. Thank you for giving me a different life.